The third-person animations in CODM's latest test server build have been changed again, and this time the changes are significant enough that they deserve a full breakdown. This is not a minor polish update. Multiple stances have been reworked, some fixes have been made, and there are still clear signs that this overhaul is not finished yet. So let's go through every change, one by one. Starting with the most noticeable change, the standing posture. In the previous test build, the character had a wide, low stance. The legs were spread apart, the center of gravity was low, and the overall posture had a strong, grounded presence. A lot of players compared it to a horse stance. It looked aggressive, it looked ready. In this new build, that has changed. The legs have been pulled inward, the stance is narrower now, and the center of gravity has been raised. The character looks more upright and relaxed compared to before. The problem is that this new posture looks very close to the original old animations, the ones that existed before this entire overhaul started. That is a step backward. The previous test build version had a distinct identity. This one feels like a regression. Now the weapon holding stance, and this is the change that matters the most for how the game actually feels to watch. In the previous test build, the weapon was positioned lower, roughly at chest level. The character's head was close to the sight line. It looked intentional. It looked like someone who was actually prepared to fire. In this new build, the weapon has been moved up again, closer to shoulder level, and the character's head has not moved to compensate. The result is the same problem that existed in the original animations. The eyes and the crosshair appear completely disconnected. The character looks like they are aiming at something that is not there. This is the exact issue the previous test build had fixed, and now it has returned. Moving to the knife stance, the previous version had an issue. Many players pointed out that the idle knife pose looked similar to an Ultraman fighting stance. It was unusual enough that it became a running joke in the community. That has now been changed, but the new version brings its own problems. The left hand is raised deliberately in front of the chest, held in a way that looks staged rather than natural. It does not look like someone holding a knife ready to fight. It looks more like a pose. Similar posture adjustments have been applied to the knife stance across multiple positions, just like the gun stance. Now let us talk about what has actually improved. The sprint stopping animation is noticeably better. In the previous build, when a character stopped sprinting, the transition was exaggerated. It almost looked like the character was about to lose balance and fall forward. That has been fixed. The stop animation is now smooth and controlled. The jump animation has also been improved. Previously, the arms would extend outward aggressively during a jump, which looked very dramatic and unnatural. In this build, the arms stay closer to the body. The jump looks much more grounded. The vault and climb animations have received a fix as well. There was a bug in earlier builds where the character's body would twist unnaturally mid-vault, almost like the skeleton was bending in the wrong direction. That specific bug appears to be gone now. The acceleration animation when starting to move is still present and still looks clean. The idle posture adjustment animation, the small repositioning the character does when standing still, is also unchanged and still works well. Now, the part that confirms this overhaul is still unfinished. If you sprint, perform a slide, and then stand back up, there is a single frame where the old animation appears before snapping into the new stance. It is a very brief moment, but it is very visible. The character twitches into the old posture for one frame and then instantly snaps back. This means the old animation files have not been fully removed from the build yet, or the transition logic between old and new animations has not been completed. Either way, it is unfinished work. There is also a separate issue with diagonal movement. When transitioning into angled running, the character sometimes behaves incorrectly, almost like they are sliding in place rather than actually moving. It does not happen every time, but it happens often enough to be a real problem that still needs a fix. One detail worth noting, the crouch stance has not been changed. The crouch position still uses the wider leg spread from the previous build. That consistency is actually fine. The crouch stance reads differently than the standing stance, and the wider position works better there. So where does this leave the animation overhaul overall? The sprint stop is better, the jump is better, the vault bug is fixed. Those are real improvements. But the two most important stances, the standing posture and the weapon holding position, have moved in the wrong direction compared to the previous test build. The standing stance now looks too similar to the original old animations. The weapon position has reintroduced the disconnected sightline problem that the previous build had corrected. There are also clear signs of unfinished transitions and leftover animation files still present in the build. This is still a test server. None of this is final, but based on the current state, This animation overhaul is not close to being release ready. Realistically, it will take at least 1 or 2 more test builds before this reaches a state that can go live. That is the full breakdown of every third-person animation change in the latest CODM test server build.